not going to get emotional about this. This is my last bite of an apple. This is really hard to talk about. It's like a panda. I'm 27 years old.
Your case is critical, Busi.
baby ngihamba nawe ngikhetha wena kuphela ngifuna abanye wena kumele ungisalele izingane uthando la ngempela ngeliqhabuka ngawe.
Hello, Sunny Bonani, Ni Hao, and hey, Busi here, and today I'm going to be telling you about my braces. Yeah, I got braces. Today is my 2-week anniversary, I guess. A fortnight ago, I donned these grills. This is the most expensive gift I've ever gotten, so I guess I should be shouting from the hilltops about it. I've had to refilm this video so many times, and every time I've had to wear the same outfit. This video is basically about why I got braces at 27 years old. Like, why did I wait? Basically talking through a very personal and emotional journey. If you're interested in watching a video where I get super emotional about inequality, all of those things, then please keep watching. Hi guys, this is Future Busi, and I'm here to tell you what the video was actually about. So this video is actually about why I got braces and everything that happened leading up to getting the braces, and actual footage from the day I got my braces. Before I get into it, I'd just like to remind you to subscribe to my channel, give this video a big thumbs up, leave some comments down below, any questions, tips, anything, just leave it down below. Okay. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I have guys, I'm gonna try not to be emotional about this, because this is obviously something very personal and it's not really easy to talk about. I have had many issues with my teeth growing up because I have an underbite, as you can see. Underbite is when your like lower row of teeth extends past your like top part, so you're supposed to be like this and I'm like this. So I have an underbite and it's caused some problems. I had crowding with my teeth, just a lot of things growing up, and everybody knows that dental care is quite expensive. Growing up, I had the pleasure of living with a doctor, so healthcare in that sense was free for me. But when it came to dental stuff, yeah, that was another story. So I had to go to the public hospitals when I had anything wrong with my teeth. And if you have ever gone to the public hospitals, you'll know that if you complain about a toothache or whatever, they just pull out your teeth. Like, they don't do fillings. Like, it is what it is, right? So when that's all you can really okay, I'm not going to get emotional about this. If you're in a situation where you're in pain, and obviously you can't afford to go to a private dentist, what do? You go to the public hospital. Maybe you'll spend half the day there waiting in line in pain, but at the end of the day you'll get to see the dentist, and of course they don't really have that much time to like really attend to you, and you know, so they need to see as many patients as possible because there are hundreds of people waiting, and when that's all you can afford, I mean, At the time, I really thought I was getting help, because I came, I'd go when I was in a lot of pain. And I mean, after the extraction, there's some pain, but after a few days, it seems like the problem is solved, right? The reason why this is like hard to speak about is because having to sit, especially in front of a camera, and openly talk about, not being able to afford, proper health care, just sucks. Because we live in a world that seems to measure somebody's worth as a human being based on how much money they have. And I'm definitely not ashamed of my background. I know I've had much more opportunities, even more opportunities than my sister. I went to a public school, but it was a very good public school, and a lot of the people, my classmates, in primary school, was getting braces. A lot of my friends had them, and I really, really wanted them. It was never an option for me because I didn't have medical aid. It was sort of okay before having, crooked teeth, because everybody did. And then, slowly but surely, everyone around me, fixed their teeth. When you are wearing a school uniform, everybody looks the same. You don't know people's backgrounds. You don't know where they come from. Certain indicators of wealth and status, and I guess certainly braces were one of those things. And when people would make comments on my teeth, it would just hurt, because it's not like I didn't want to fix them. I just couldn't afford to fix it. Anyway, my point that I'm trying to drive home is that the same little girl that couldn't afford braces and this young woman have the same value. Anyway, the feelings that I feel now, it's not shame, it's not embarrassment. I just feel sorry that I didn't have, certain opportunities, and I just wish that, all healthcare was affordable, because this is healthcare. Braces are healthcare. It's not just about beautiful straight teeth. It's about healthy teeth. It's about being able to chew and eat and not have jaw problems in the future. That's why I'm emotional. So, if I had been able to deal with my sort of, dental issues in time, early enough, I wouldn't have to come to this point, essentially. So, if you're sick, if you break a leg or whatever, it's very obvious that this is something that needs fixing. So you will go to the hospital, people will pull out the stops just to ensure that you can be fine, right? I mean, I have had much more, privileged upbringing than a lot of people in my country, even in my family, but it doesn't necessarily change, the socioeconomic situation of my family. I was lucky enough to have access to mental health. I was able to get an ADHD diagnosis, which I probably would not have been able to receive, if I grew up in less fortunate circumstances where those sorts of things aren't recognized, if I'm still performing well enough in school and stuff. But when it comes to dental, I wasn't able to get access to that until... When did I actually go to a dentist for the first time? oh gosh, I'm pretty sure I'd only gone to the public hospital where they just pull out my teeth. So I got fillings for the first time. The dentist was really nice, and the dentist was saying that, you know, I have all these problems, but you know, it's not necessarily the fact that I'm just bad with, and I have bad hygiene or whatever, but it's just because of the crowding. Like, there's certain things I couldn't do, and also even in terms of like flossing, I mean, yeah, dental floss was not something that was on my grandmother's shopping list for sure. But when I went to university, I got to a point where I could not eat. Like, I couldn't, I was in so much pain. And you know, growing up, when you have like a toothache, they say just put, like, you just take, you know, grandpa, I say put Colgate on it, like all these things that don't really help. So when I got to that situation, like, and my foster parents were like to my grand, she needs to fix this, because this is like very serious. She can't just go to a public hospital, she can't just pull out her teeth, because she won't have any teeth left. So then my gran and my foster parents, like, you know, they put together the money for me to be able to get fillings, and even then, like, I had a tooth that was like, I think broken or something like that, and they just decided, actually they said I could get a crown on it or I have to pull it, and like crowns are expensive, so you know, I lost that tooth too. I'm getting so emotional about all the teeth I've lost. And also I had a very traumatic experience. When I got the last tooth that I pulled out, the dentist, when he was pulling out my tooth, he actually like cut his glove, and obviously there's blood, so my blood obviously got in, like he touched my blood, and I don't know if he actually hurt himself too in the process. He was like, when was the last time you had an HIV test? And I was like, a few months ago. He was like, well, I think you need to take an HIV test. And I was like, why? He's like, he needs to have an HIV test, and he was freaking out. I was kind of, you know, speechless, and he was like, well, considering your demographic, it's a high chance that you could have HIV. And I was like, my demographic? I was like, wow, okay. So this man is saying you're a young black woman, so you have a higher chance of having HIV. I was like, I'm not even sexually active. But anyway, so yeah, I had like some traumatic experiences at the dentist, to say the least. Basically, I had a lot of issues, and it was always really expensive to fix some things, and I just put them off. And one of the main reasons was because, well, first of all, it's expensive, and second of all, like, when I did start even getting some money, there was always something more important. So I would decide I need to do something. I'd go to the dentist, and maybe like the dentist would say something that makes it impossible for me to fix, or they just don't really help me. So here in China, I went, because the public hospitals here in Shanghai are quite good. So I mean, they just don't speak English, but you know, I actually wanted to get some fillings done. So I went to the hospital, and I paid like 50 rand, which is how much you pay to just see the doctor. So I went and I sat in the chair, and then they asked me like, what's wrong? And I said, I want to get some fillings done. So they took the like metal thing, and they went ding 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 ding, and they hit all my teeth, and then they were like, does it hurt? And I said no. And then they're like, so then why are you here? And I'm like, I need to get some fillings done. I obviously need to get some fillings done, because I had like, this tooth had like I had a filling before, but it was like discolored, so I wanted to obviously patch that up. There's also like some other things I needed to fix, and then they were like, no. And then they're like, well, do you want to pull it out? And I was like, no, no thank you. And then I was like, okay, I need to go to a proper dentist. So this guy basically said he has a friend that's a dentist, and that he can like help me get like a good deal, blah blah blah. So anyway, I went to go see this dentist, and it was like a really nice hospital, because I wanted to get some fillings done, of course. So the dentist that I saw, he was like, yeah, you need fillings, but more importantly, you need to get your teeth straightened. And I was like, I was like, how much will that be? He's like, well, we'll see. So after the x-rays, he showed me like all the problems, and he was talking about my underbite, my also the fact that my bite is not aligned, all these things, like my midline, all these things. And then I was like, okay, so how much would it be to fix? And he was talking about, and I need like implants and this and that, and he's like, because I'm missing teeth. Anyway, he's telling me it's gonna be over 30k in RMB, so that's like 60,000-70,000 rand. And I was like so how much is it today for this consultation? And he's like, nothing. And I'm like, okay, so how much is it for fillings? And they were like, it's like expensive. And I was like, alright. I had just budgeted to get like some fillings done, but they were like, well, you just have to like book another appointment when you're ready for your fillings, but this is like more important. And I was like, okay, I'll think about it. And they're like, well, why don't you just go home and fix it? And I was like, isn't it more expensive to fly home? Anyway, so this was like, yeah, end of 2019. No, could have even been the beginning of 2020. Anyway, so I ended up going home, and when I got home, I was like, priority is to get some, I need to fix my teeth, because I had actually like cracked it, well, like broken sort of part of my tooth and stuff. So I was like, I need to fix this, obviously. So when I got home, I went to a dentist that was like cheap, and they were not there. And I went again, and they were also not there again. So I was like fed up, and I was like, well, I'm leaving soon, so I need to do something. So I didn't. And then my friend was like, oh, he can take me to his friend that's a dentist. And I was like, okay. I was prepared to just go, and then my grand was like, whoa, tried to find a dentist that somebody has gone to and stuff. Then I went to this other dentist, and it's actually somebody I know. Spent a lot of money, and at the end of the day, she actually couldn't fix my tooth. Instead, anyway, I would just say she thought she could do it, but then she couldn't do it. So then she was like, you're gonna have to pull out your tooth. You can fix it in China when you get there, and when you get back. And I was like, oh my goodness, because I was supposed to fly to China like the next day, but my trip was delayed by 3 weeks. I didn't actually end up fixing it. I was just like in pain. and literally, like, she didn't really give me any like painkillers, so luckily Dad got me some painkillers. And yeah, anyway, so I went back to China. When I got back to China, obviously I was quarantined for like 3 weeks, and then after that it's like lockdown and like no money. So like this was pushed way back down the priority list. When things opened up, when I was able to, you know, still it was just like not really that much of a priority until, so this thing was like on this side of my mouth, right? So now fine, I eat on this side of my mouth, no problems. And then I'm eating, minding my own business, and then I don't know what I ate, something hard obviously, and I just heard and I'm like, oh no, like a piece of my tooth on this side. And I was like, because I had said like after summer I know I'm gonna, you know, so I'm going to be able to do something about it. And it was like, it was in the plans, it's in the works. I'm going to do something, I'm going to fix it. And my friend had gotten her braces, like she's my neighbor, so she got her braces for a very cheap amount, like you can't even believe. So it's like she got hers for like 5,000 RMB last year, and that's like 12,000 rand. And you know, she had to go with a friend who could translate and everything. I was like, I bet that's where I'm going, and then I'm going to fix everything and it's going to be great. So when that situation happened, now I could not chew, because on this side I have this issue where the filling that she had put, a temporary filling, when I lost this, eating was painful, it was uncomfortable. So I got to a point where I just couldn't eat. I was like, I need to fix my teeth, and now I'm gonna have, you know, spend this money, and there's so much I could do with this money, and my grand is in her house, and I just felt the sense of guilt of, I don't know, I just felt selfish to spend so much money just fixing something that only benefits me, sort of. So anyway, I went to the dentist and I spent a lot. I didn't get the cheapest filling. So the experience overall was awful. They were rude. Well, no, not they. The other dentist and the assistant were really nice. A guy that was so rude. Like, he was like awful. And he was just like, this is not gonna work. I can't speak English. She can't speak Chinese. And I'm like, I can speak Chinese. I just don't know, like, you know, dental jargon. Like, I don't know what a root canal is in Chinese because I don't know, like, they never taught us that, you know. I had 2 dentists. The other one was just, can just translate. She's like, she understands, she just doesn't know some words. And he was like, oh, isn't there somebody else who can do it? I really just wanted to just walk away and just be like, alright, fine, whatever. But I needed to fix it because I was in pain. So, and then they did like x-rays and all these other additional things. I did like the 3D scan to get braces. And remember how I had this entire issue where somebody said I'm gonna have to pull out my tooth, all of that? Yeah, they didn't fix that. And I had said, like, just fix everything. I want braces, but first just fix everything before I get braces. And they were like, what do you want to fix? I'm like, you're the dentist, like, you should tell me what I need to fix. Hello. But anyway, so after I got this filling done on this tooth that doesn't have a bracket on it, I started to have some pain in it, and which didn't exist before getting the filling. So, and I went back and I was like, your filling has a problem, and they were like, no, it's not our fault. It's probably a filling you got on the tooth earlier, blah blah blah. And after that I was just like, okay, these people don't care. Anyway, so I had wanted to go back for fillings there because they were like my only option, but they were unavailable when I needed to go. So then I looked on Jinping for nearby dentist and stuff, and they actually I found a place that's like right near my house, but they closed early, and then they said I should go to the other branch in Zhongshan Park because they closed at 8:30. Oh, and this was like a godsend. I went there, and the dentist that I had, she is so amazing. Like, when I tell you that somebody is amazing, pure, just like so nice, that's her. As soon as I got there, she's like, what are you here for? I'm like, I'm here for a filling. I just want this, nothing else, no more, no less. And she's like, okay. I should have opened my mouth. She's like, didn't you say that you'd just been to a dentist? I'm like, yeah. She's like, why have they not fixed this, like, tooth? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, did you say that you want to fix it? I'm like, no, I didn't. She's like, you need to get a root canal ASAP. I'm like, how much is that gonna be? Because she had said the filling is like something like 2,500 or something, and I was like, lot, because you can get like coupons and stuff online for fillings cheaper, but they only do them for like back teeth. So for this one, because it's a like front tooth, I didn't get it. So she was like, well, you need to get a root canal ASAP, otherwise you're going to lose the tooth, and this is not a tooth you can lose, it's a very important tooth. I was like, how much is that going to be? She said, girl said like 3,000 RMB. I was like, just fix it. I know, just fix it. Please fix it, because I can't eat. She's like to me, listen, if you can't afford both, forget this filling. This filling is nonsense. This is just for appearance. It doesn't actually affect your tooth. This one you need. And then I was like, okay, just do both. Just do both. Like, you need to go to an orthodontist because you need to fix your bite. You need to da all these things. And I'm like, I know. And I was like, I already went to a place. And she's like, the same place that didn't fix this. She's like, where's this place? She's like, are these real, like, accredited dentists? I'm like, yes. She's like, why did you go there? Can they speak English? I'm like, no. She's like, is it your friend? I'm like, no, but my friend went there. And then she was like, you should probably speak to our orthodontist. And I was like, no, I can't afford it. I'm like, I paid 500 just for x-rays there, so I've already like paid to start my like plan. And she was like, listen, I'll talk to him, he'll see you for free. Just go to him, talk to him, so that she's like, he can even speak English, so he can like explain to you and you can have a better understanding, and then you can decide. And I was like, okay. So after she like started with my root canal, she did the filling. Oh, she even gave me a discount on the filling. She did it as if it's a back filling. That's when I knew my girl got me. She got me. So anyway, I came back for consultation with the orthodontist, and he spoke to me in Chinese. Just like, but he spoke to me very slowly and clearly. And then only when I was leaving, I was like, 你会说英文吗? Can you speak English? And he's like, oh yeah. And then I was like, why didn't you speak to me in English? He's like, because you understand. I'm like, that's not what the other dentist said. So I asked him like how much it's gonna cost, and they were telling me big money's there, guys. They were telling me also 30K, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm pretty fine with my subpar dentist, you know. And then I looked online and I saw, oh, they actually had a discount there for braces. I could get them for 16K in RMB, and I was like, ooh, it made it more like appealing. I spoke to Fred, I spoke to my gran, and then they were like, yeah, do the 16K place, obviously. But 6.8 versus 16K, like, and my gran is like, just die once, don't keep dying again and again, because if you go to the cheap place, they'll probably give you more problems and stuff. And I was like, no, I don't need braces. I don't need braces. It's fine. Let's just do root canals and whatever, and let's be done. And then the dentist was like, oh, he's like, yeah, you don't need to get braces, but then you'll need jaw surgery. And I was like, huh? And I was like, no. And he's like, yeah. And he like explained about like, as of my bite, it's kind of damaging to my teeth at the back, and also like it's a long thing, and also my face is obviously not symmetrical because my midline shifted and blah 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 because of the teeth that I've been missing. So yeah, basically he was like, you know, it really affects you, like you can cause like a lot of problems with your jaw and like opening and closing it, headaches, all these things. And I was like, yeah, I know. So I had decided I'm going to get the braces, but I was like still trying to debate where to get them, and whether my husband's paying or I'm paying, like, you know, it's our money, you know, so it's still like I'm paying for it in any case. So basically I decided I was going to go to the 16K place because I felt more comfortable, more relaxed, it's close by, it's just good vibes. And they were like, the dentist was like, listen, you know, if you need some extra tutoring jobs, I've got lots of friends, rich friends. And I was like, girl, yeah. I was like, oh, I can get it for 16K, right? And the dentist was like, oh no, that's for the old style braces, we don't do those anymore, we only have the newer ones, these self-litigating, I don't know how to say it, anyway. So I was like, but I want the older ones. I was like, you guys can't, this is false advertising. He's like, we don't set it on DMP. He's like, we don't have these anymore. I'm like, then say sold out or something. I was like negotiating, bargaining. I was like, I want to pay 16K. I was like, actually, I want to pay 6K. I cannot pay 31,000 RMB to fix my teeth because it's upsetting. It's upsetting to me and the homegirls. It's 72,000, right? So I was like, I'm not gonna pay that. So basically, he gave me a discount. I called Fred and I was like, this is what's happening. Fred is like, but we gotta do it. And I was like, I had sort of come to terms with perhaps parting with 16K of our money, but guys, I wasn't ready for... He was like, okay, so Thursday, and I got braces within a week of that conversation. So the day I got my braces in was 2 weeks ago, 14 days ago from today, and I was so like nervous. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. I was like, you know. And also before that, so he'd actually suggested that because like I'm a student, you know, he was like, well, in order to fix my bite properly, they need to create space for my jaw. So they're going to pull out 2 teeth from the bottom. So I'm missing 2 teeth, so I need to pull out 2 more teeth. And I was like, that don't make no sense. If the problem started from missing teeth, how is removing 2 perfectly healthy teeth going to make things better? I'm like, I don't even have that many teeth. I refuse to lose another tooth, especially because there's going to be like 2 pretty front-ish teeth. Pull out 1 tooth, and then we wait a week, we pull out another tooth, and then we get the braces after that. So I'm going to have 2 gaps here. And I was like, no, there's got to be another way. And I'm like, can't I like put teeth in somewhere? And he's like, yeah, well, you can put 2 teeth at the top, and then that would work, but that's going to cost you an extra 20k. And I was like, okay, when do I pay that 20k? And he's like, well, at the end. And I was like, well, I have 2.5 years to save up 20k. I can do that, because there's no way I'm going to lose more teeth. And yeah, anyway, so I'm still going to die some more, but that's at a later stage. Anywho, so today I got my braces. I bit an apple. What else did I eat? I tried to eat all the hard things that I couldn't eat, and he told me, he's like, eat all those things. But also I'm in the middle of a root canal, so I was also restricted in what I can and cannot eat. So it wasn't exactly the best like farewell party to my teeth, but I did what I could. This is my last bite of an apple, I think, so it wasn't even a good bite. It wasn't even a good apple, but the next time you see me, guys, I won't be able to bite apples. I won't be able to chew or bite anything really, but it's towards a better cause, a better future, a better me. So I'm very nervous, but I'm excited. Yeah, it was quite quick and painless to get the braces put in. I thought it would hurt. I don't know what I thought.
No cuts or
Actually, it doesn't hurt. It's just, I just feel like I have metal in my mouth.
Because you do.
And it was like quite a chilled thing, because like my orthodontist is really cool and chilled, and he's funny.
I hope you like that.
It's like a panda.
Even this thing cannot make you not to talk. Your case is critical, Busi.
And then I had to go and do like 2 classes after that, and I had to speak for 3 hours. And let me tell you, after my first class, a lot of pain, but I'm so there's an area where it really hurts, and it's on this side because the races have literally cut. It was raw. Just know it was raw inside my mouth. It's so weird because I've always had bad teeth, and people have told me that my teeth are bad. Now all of a sudden everyone's like, why, your teeth are fine, and it's like,
okay.
So I mean, I understand like people don't have those like connotations for braces of like, oh, you were poor before but now you can afford them. So yeah, I guess this is like the best place that I could have gotten them. Yeah, so I'm glad that I could have finally do it, and I'm very grateful that I have a strong, supportive partner who has really helped me in many ways, especially like the emotional support part of it, because yeah, I cried so much about it before, because I was like, I felt so bad, and I was like, I cannot spend this amount of money on my teeth, I cannot. One of my favorite YouTubers, Tiffany Ferg, did a video, part of her internet analysis, I think, on teeth.
It's safe to assume that most people do want to have healthy, nice looking teeth, but many barriers exist, including financial barriers.
I relate so much to this. Like, I didn't fix my teeth just for aesthetic purposes. Actually, I needed to have healthier teeth and a healthier bite. One of like things I did not want was it to seem like I was just fixing it because I wanted to have like a beautiful smile, because I had a beautiful smile, child. One of my friends was like, why did you do it? You're ruining the best feature you have. And I was like, first of all, yeah, I will definitely be doing more braces related content, because now that's my identity. And yeah, so if you guys have any questions, please leave them down below. if you guys want to see my actual full journey of getting put in, because I'll only insert a few clips. Let me know.
So I'm gonna have to remove this light. Probably
Oh
to
my
have a
god,
better
finally.
video.
Jeez. The light has really been stressing this whole process.
Thank you for sitting through this very uncomfortable sit down video, but I hope that this gave you some insight. Oh, I didn't even say how old. I'm 27 years old, guys. I'm as old as our democracy, and to get braces at 27, just like, I mean, it feels old, but I know people who've gotten braces after that, and I know somebody got braces in their 60s, so I guess it's never too late. I need to wrap up. Okay. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time.